my faith, I'm unashamed about my faith.
Yeah.
Whether I'm writing a love song or I'm writing a worship song or just anything. It's anchored on my faith, my belief.
Okay.
And then I always try to give hope in
Yeah.
my lyrics.
Yes.
And then just show love. The love.
Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Ruth. Welcome to another episode of Couch Convos. Today, we have an exciting guest on the couch. I know I say exciting all the time, but this is a very exciting guest. He is someone you all know. He is a fantastic artist. But before I go ahead, I would like to introduce you to Folabi Nuel.
Hi, everyone.
Good to have you on the couch with me today.
Good to be here. Thanks
How
for
you
having me.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm very well. I'm excited as you are. Excited for the conversation we'll have.
That's good. That's great. So we have Folabi here today to talk to us about his journey as a musician. Yeah. He's a global artist, and we're going to delve into that shortly. First and foremost, I just want to ask you, how did you get into music?
That's a good question. I grew up in a Christian home, right?
Yeah.
So we were forced to go to church every Sunday with my mom.
Yeah.
And at some point, we were asked, like the younger, the kids would go for keyboard lessons. There was a strategy involved because we didn't have a lot of musicians. So the hope was that when we learn to play an instrument, we start playing for the church, right? Which worked, and it paid off. So that's how I got into serving, in music. But professionally, for the longest time, I didn't think I was good enough to do music professionally, right? So, but serving in my university days, in the fellowship in university, I was serving in the choir.
Yeah.
And I would do original songs that I've written.
Nice.
And then people started to ask, the song you guys sang on Sunday, can we get it online? Who's the original artist?
That's cool.
And when I tell them, oh, it's an original song by me, they're like, okay, when are you going to record it?
Wow.
But I still didn't think I was going to do it professionally. And so I recorded my first single. It's called God of Heaven.
Nice. Okay.
While in uni. And I got a call randomly from a radio station in Lagos that, is this my name? I was going by another name.
What was the name? Can you tell us?
For rebranding.
What was the name? Do you want to tell us the name?
Something Emmanuel. It was just very full.
Okay.
And so they called me and said, oh, your song is number one on
amazing,
on the radio charts. Can you do an interview? I'm like, okay, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
I had no press kit. I had no official pictures, none of that stuff. So you can say that rightly I stumbled into music as a career or as a full-time ministry. Yeah,
that's interesting. I like the journey, and I like how you arrived at being into music as you are today. I think one question I wanted to ask you before we go ahead is God of Heaven still available for people to listen to?
I don't think you should listen to it just yet. Let us do another version. Because, when it's like your very first. But to be fair, I think it's part of the journey. So they hear how you sound. It wasn't the most professional recording.
Yeah.
It was my first. But I've learned so much along the way. So yes, it's still on all the digital platforms.
Yeah.
But I don't think I listen to it that much.
Okay, we'll wait for the renewed version, and we'll put the link in the description when it's available.
You can listen to all the other songs.
Yes, for sure. We'll link it. Okay, that's interesting. So who would you say are your biggest musical influences?
A lot of them. My dad would play Jim Reeves, Sonny Ade.
Oh, nice.
Growing up, right?
Yeah.
Lionel Richie, all of those, the classic guys growing up. But now that I've discovered my sound, I would say in Nina Simone. I love how rich the tone is, how expressive she is.
Okay.
I would say a Matt Redman. Matt Redman is an OG, in the worship space.
Nice. Okay.
So, and again, I try to, besides Nina Simone and all the other names I've called, I try to pick my influence or my role models
Yeah.
that I have access to.
Okay, that makes
It
sense.
makes sense
Yes, makes
because
sense.
knowing
Yeah.
someone from afar is different from when
From
you can
yeah,
ask them
exactly.
questions.
Yeah,
And so maybe a Nathaniel Bassey
that's
and the
lovely.
likes. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So would you say you have any musical mentor?
mentor is a strong word.
It is.
So I'm
Yeah.
careful not to use the word mentor. I think what you said about who influences you
Yeah.
is the right word.
Okay,
So
that
yes,
makes sense.
definitely a Pastor Nathaniel influences me.
Yeah, that
A
makes sense.
Matt Redman influences me.
Okay.
I'm very big on consistency,
Yeah, that's
right?
important. Yeah.
And so those two definitely.
Okay, that makes sense. That's perfect. I think the other people you mentioned, like Nina Simone, I'm not familiar with her.
Nina Simone
So
is dead. Oh, you should listen to
yeah,
Nina
so
Simone.
I'm going to make sure that
She's
we
dead.
leave their like bios in the description. So if anyone wants to like
Yes,
dive deep
yes,
into that.
definitely.
Okay, that makes sense. But can you describe your creative process?
Oh, wow. Okay, that's very deep. My
Yeah.
creative process. It's interesting that I'm a very spontaneous writer or spontaneous creative.
Okay.
And maybe that's what God saw, and that's why He gave me the wife I married because she's very organized. I'm very spontaneous.
Yeah.
But my creative process, my writing process, my music creation process is very spontaneous.
Okay.
Some of the best songs I've written were written spontaneously. I
That's
didn't
good.
sit down to write.
Yeah.
So there's a song I have that I have released. It's called "Call Me Blessed."
Oh, I like that
Yeah,
song. Yeah.
and "Call Me Blessed" I think has over 3,000
So
sound usage
nice.
on TikTok.
That's really good.
Yeah,
Okay.
and almost, I mean, it's over 100K streams.
Nice.
But the reason why I'm pointing that out is it's one of the most spontaneous songs I've written.
Wow.
Because I woke up in the morning and I heard the sound, went to the studio, recorded it, called my wife and said, "Oh, I have this new song. This is how it sounds." So people won't notice that the intro where it says, "Oh, when the saints go march," because I didn't want to lose that idea.
Yeah.
My wife recorded it with me.
Oh.
So the background is my wife and I.
Oh, that's
recording.
sweet.
But
Oh,
I kept that original.
that's good.
So I think
Yeah.
that's proof that I'm very spontaneous.
That's interesting, and to see the results of that. I mean,
Yeah.
spontaneity is working
Yeah,
very
when it
well for
comes
you.
from
Yeah.
within and it's rich, it's authentic.
Yeah. That's really impressive.
Yeah.
We will put the link to that song so people can
Thank
keep
you,
streaming
thank
it so we can increase the
A
numbers.
million streams in 1 week.
That's what we're going
That's
for.
the goal.
Guys, please go watch it or go listen to it, please. And use the song on TikTok.
Use the song on TikTok, use
Yes.
it on Instagram.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for selling my mind. And stream Couch Convos so that it's give and take.
Yes. I like that. Thank you so much, Folabi. What inspires your lyrics or music?
The Holy Spirit, life. 3 themes are, my anchor, faith,
Yeah.
hope, and love.
Okay.
And everything kind of aligns with that.
Yeah,
Right? So
okay,
my
okay.
faith, I'm unashamed about my faith.
Yeah.
Whether I'm writing a love song or I'm writing a worship song or
Yeah.
just any theme.
Yeah.
It's anchored on my faith, my
Yeah.
belief.
Okay. Okay.
And then I always try to give hope
Yeah.
in my lyrics.
Yes, yes.
And then just show love, the love of God.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I already answered the second question I was going to ask about the themes that you try to convey in your music.
Yeah.
But what would you say is your most memorable project so far?
I'm tempted to sound cheesy and say all my projects are memorable.
Oh,
Right. But my most memorable project would be the album I wrote for my wife.
oh,
Yeah, I think so.
I like that album.
Yes.
I really love it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason is because I was stepping out of my comfort zone. All the songs, the songs on the album tell a story,
Yeah.
which is unique. But I'd never really released an album that was non-Christian. And so when I released it and I saw the feedback, it was playlisted
Yeah.
on, Spotify playlists that I would not
Nice.
necessarily get on.
Wow.
Right. So that was very encouraging. And then, the fact that I have a free pass for another 10 years with
Oh,
my wife.
nice.
When she's upset, I'll just send her the link to the album.
I like that. I like that bribe. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about the current state of the music industry today?
In what way? So is it the growth or just
In every way. So in terms of the growth, in terms of how music is tends to evolve, especially like gospel music and all kinds of music generally. What would you like? What's your opinion on
I
that?
think I like the word evolve. So yes, music is evolving.
Yeah.
I believe that um each continent or culture
Yeah.
shapes the sound that's released. Maybe every 10 years, or I
Yeah.
don't know. But there was a time that Europe was shaping the sound. You had the Beatles,
Yeah.
Abbey Wood Studio. Everybody wanted to record,
Yeah.
in that studio. There was a time where America, the US, was actually shaping culture, and they did that for a while. They
Yeah.
still are, but now I think it's Africa's turn.
Yeah.
And so, if you check the charts,
Yeah.
you see Ashake, Davido,
Yeah.
Burna
That's
Boy.
true.
They're selling out shows in Europe, in Africa. Not
Yeah.
even as much as in Nigeria or in Africa, but outside of Africa. And that's to tell you how universal music
Yeah.
is. So
Yeah.
people don't understand the Yoruba, but they are just
Jam into it.
vibing
Yeah.
and they're packing arenas.
That's
And
good.
so it's Africa's turn, which is exciting
Yeah.
because for the longest time we looked outward to consume music.
Yes.
Now
Yeah.
it's the opposite,
Which is great. Yeah.
which is amazing. It's a good compensation
Yeah.
for the level of hard work. I feel like Africans are so hardworking,
Yeah. Great.
especially the creatives. We're super creative, and we have less to work with, and
That's
we
true.
still release that level of
Yeah.
excellent music. So it's Africa's turn. That's what I believe,
That's
both
great.
in the Christian space and
Yes.
even in the other
100.
spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I believe.
I like that. I like the answer. Another question I was going to ask you is, what can we expect from you in the near future? I was at your last concert in the UK. It was packed,
Thank you.
and it was really good. So
you.
what else can we expect from you in the nearest future?
Good question. I think it's my touring season.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah, so my touring season, which is exciting.
Yeah.
But beyond that, obviously we have another show for next year.
That's good.
May 4th in London. So
Get your tickets.
get your tickets. But it's my touring season, so collaborating with artists from different parts of the world is something
Okay.
I'm excited about.
Yeah.
So at the moment, Poland, Budapest,
Wow.
the US,
Really
all those places
cool.
that,
Yeah.
places that were not on my list a year or
Yes.
two ago.
Yeah.
But if God opens a door, you just
Yeah.
know that it's time, and you need to be sensitive.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And hopefully, maybe in the coming years, we'll do events in parts of Asia.
I
maybe
love that.
Japan,
Yes.
Singapore,
Yes. Yes.
who knows?
Yes.
But I know for
Yeah.
a fact that it's my touring season. So
Okay.
my sound, who I'm collaborating with, I'm very intentional about that as
Okay.
well.
Okay. That makes sense. We're excited to see all of this, and we will leave the dates for all of this, the ones that already have plans for, so that people can buy their tickets and then, be there to experience the quality of your sound, because I can attest to how great it is. So well done,
Thank you.
Folabi.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being on the couch today. I want to ask you one last question before we wrap up.
Yeah.
What do you do for fun?
For fun, I
Yeah.
play tennis.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my forehand is it's good.
Okay. We'll look for a video of you playing tennis.
No need for all of that. Just accept what I've said. No need for evidence.
That's great. Thank
But
you
I
so
love tennis,
much.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for being on the couch with us
you.
today. I really appreciate you being here. And we will leave the links to all of the things that you've described so that everyone can, stream your sound across all digital channels like you've mentioned, and buy your tickets to Folabi's upcoming show in London, May 4th.
London, May 4th, Canada,
Yeah.
October 19th.
Okay.
All the other dates are not confirmed yet.
Okay.
But just check on Instagram
Yes.
or my website. You'll get all the details there.
Perfect. That's a good segue into where can people find you.
Yes, people can find me online.
Of course. I mean, like your handle, like
Yeah,
your
Spotify, across all platforms, all streaming platforms. Folabi Nuel.
Yeah.
So Folabi.
Yes.
The Noel is not Noel. It's Noel Nuel.
Yes. Okay.
My website www.folabinuel.net.
Okay.
All the information you need is all there.
Thank you so much. That's perfect. We're going to put that in the description box. Thank you again for being here with us on the couch. Thank you, Folabi. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the couch today. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Folabi will be taking your questions. And if you have any suggestions on any episode you want to see, let us know. We'll see you in the next episode. Again, we'll leave our email for Couch Convos in the description box. Thank you for being here again, Folabi. Bye.